Hello?
Bill
Hello?
Blasio here.
Hello? How are you?
I'm wonderful. How about you?
I'm good. I'm really good. It's a good day in our city, yes?
Amen. Yes.
We have a new train line, new 2nd Avenue train line, the queue. I haven't been on it, but I hear it's beautiful.
It is lovely. You will enjoy it.
Have you done it? Have you done a ride?
Yeah, I went on the first night.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Do people go nuts when they see you on the train?
No, it's normal. A lot of times they're New Yorkers. Half the time they don't even notice.
They're everybody's on their own thing, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Minimum wage is up. We got
Yes.
we got a little ways to go, but we're up. We're going in the right direction.
That's right. Things are happening.
And crime rate is down.
Crime rate is definitely down. And not only is the crime rate down, at the same time, stop and frisk is way down. And we proved in 2016, that police and community working closer together is what drives down crime, not creating a wedge between the police and community through a policy like stop and frisk.
Yeah. Have you been able to convey this message to our president-elect?
When I met with Donald Trump, it was one of the first things I told him is that stop and frisk didn't work. It alienated police from community. And actually, since we stopped the overuse of stop and frisk, crime went down, shootings went down, everything got better.
Did he look like he got it?
I've never come to that conclusion when I look at this guy. You never know what he's taking in and what he's not. But here's the bottom line.
Okay.
His numbers here are amazing. Stop and frisk is down 93% from the time I took office. So we're talking about there's almost 200,000 stops the year before I took office. It was down to 13,000 last year, 93% decline. And shootings went down. We used fewer arrests, but we got more guns off the streets. We had more gang takedowns. So think about this for a minute, Angie. With less of the negative interaction like stop and frisk, we were able to get better results than ever before. And we have more and more community members helping the police now, giving them the information they need so they can get to the illegal guns, so they can get to the gangs that are doing criminal activity. This is the way forward, this neighborhood policing vision. This is how we're going to build trust between police and community, and that's what's going to make us safer.
Yeah. And so, do you have concerns about this, things changing when we have a new president?
Look, I think there's a lot of things that Donald Trump's going to try and do that could cause real problems for New York City. But what I'm very happy to say is when it comes to policing, we make our own decisions.
Right.
And that's true all over the country. You know, Trump is now calling for stop and frisk to be instituted in Chicago. That will only drive a wedge between police and community there. They've been struggling to overcome that for years. But we make the decisions here, and we will not bring back the overuse of stop and frisk.
So how did your meeting go? I was watching it on TV. You looked, I'm trying to think of the expression on your face. You looked concerned, yet stern.
Yes.
And I don't want to say confused because you didn't look confused, but you didn't really look happy.
No, look, it was a challenging meeting because I spent over an hour with him. It was substantive, I want to say that. It was a substantive meeting. We talked about a host of issues. We talked about stop and frisk. We talked about immigration. We talked about his proposal for a religious registry. And I told him why in each of those cases his vision was going to hurt the people in New York City, the very city he came from. And it was a tough conversation on that level.
Right.
But to your previous point, I don't conjecture what he hears and how he thinks about it, because this is a guy who's used to, being a salesman. So I didn't take his responses as being, the gospel truth.
Right.
My job was to go in there and say to him in a maybe a way that was different from what a lot of other people could say. I wanted to say to him, look, you're a New Yorker, and we disagree on a lot of things, but I believe you actually love your city. But you're doing things and saying things that are causing tremendous pain and tremendous fear for the people of the city you come from. And a lot of these things are not going to work. And I reminded him, and two examples was stop and frisk and immigration both, that he didn't have to just take my word for it. He could go talk to our police commissioner, Jimmy O'Neill. He could talk to police leaders around the country who would tell him that if there's an ongoing rift between police and community, or if immigrants feel they have to fear their local police, that's going to make it harder to make everyone safe, not easier.
How much is it as it has him even being here and being up there now? That is that like on your desk every day? Like with security and traffic and
yeah, I mean, obviously the security situation is a big challenge.
Yeah.
NYPD's done an amazing job. We need to get those costs reimbursed, and we're working very hard to get that done in the Congress. I'm still hopeful about that.
Okay.
And the congestion issues are real, and obviously the concern about what his policies might do, and those policies could start literally in a matter of weeks. So we've had to get ready on a lot of fronts.
Oh.
It's a lot of time and energy going into it. But look, what I keep reminding people is...
Okay, give me something positive here,
No,
please.
it is positive.
Okay.
When you think about how this country is run, Angie,
Yeah.
you know, this city runs their own police, every other city runs
Yeah.
their police. We run our own schools. We run our own hospitals. There's all sorts of things that we do. It's not like the federal government tells us how to do each and everything.
Right.
Which means we have the ability to set our own path, and there's things we will not do. We're not going to turn our police officers into immigration enforcers. We're not going to do a Muslim registry. You know, we're not going to leave people high and dry if they cut funding for Planned Parenthood. We're not going to leave women without health care. We're going to set our own path in a number of ways. That doesn't mean there aren't going to be challenges, and it doesn't mean there aren't things we shouldn't go to Washington and fight. But New Yorkers have to remember we're a strong city with our own values, and we're not changing just because of who got elected president.
I just read yesterday that the Clintons are attending the inauguration. Are you surprised by that?
Hey, look, I think it shows a lot of fortitude on their part.
Yeah.
And considering that Hillary Clinton won almost 3 million more votes than Donald Trump, I mean, you got to tip your cap to her that she's got a strong constitution that she could handle that. But, you know, I think former presidents have gone to some. I don't think they've all gone all the time. But, you know, this is going to be more than bittersweet because in our entire history as a country, we've never seen anything like this where someone won an election with 3 million more votes and then didn't get to take office.
Yeah.
I commend her for having the strength to do it.
So I take it you're not going?
I am not planning to, not at all, no. And it's tough because, you know, again, so many people in this city, they feel that this wasn't not only the outcome they expected, but they know this was not the will of the majority.
Yeah.
You know, Trump got 46% of the vote in the final analysis. And these are policies that don't reflect our values. So, you know, we have so much to show here in this city that we have been a place that respects all religions, respects people of all backgrounds. We don't get along perfectly, but, you know, this is a city that would never say, oh, we're gonna have a registry for one religion and treat one group different from everybody else and all. This is a city that proves that you can have an inclusive society and make it work. We're a strong city. We're a prosperous city. We're going to have to show this entire country what that kind of respect for each other, respect for all faiths, respect for all ethnicities, respect for immigrants as the ultimate city of immigrants. We're going to have to remind people about our values as Americans. And that's part of how I think we overcome this moment when people start to say, wait a minute, this division is not going to get us anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of what Trump is calling for is going to lead us ultimately in the wrong direction, and that's how I think we ultimately win the day.
Are you going to play nice? You have to play nice somewhat, don't you?
I think I got to play firm.
Okay.
I think this is about standing up to anything the federal government does that would interfere with the rights of our people or our ability as a local government to make decisions for our own people. I think Donald Trump and his team will respect people a lot more who believe in something and stand up. Now, look, on some issues where we can find the ability to work together, I think we deserve the reimbursement on the security. We're going to be as cooperative as we can be on that. Maybe they're ready to work productively on some other things. But until we see evidence of goodwill, we have to stand up for the people in New York City.
Excellent. All right. Well, Happy New Year, Mr. Mayor. It was great to hear. This is my first show of 2017. I'm thrilled that you are a part of it.
It is my honor to be a part of it. A very Happy New Year to you. Prospero año nuevo.
Can we have a one time for our bilingual mayor? Bill de Blasio, it's Power 105.1.